Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the Gentle Yoga class. And this week we're working on the theme of intuition. And it's a really cool theme because it really challenges us, or helps us, I should say, to see that we need to go deep inside and find a sense of calm in order to really trust and hear that inner voice. So we're going to go ahead and start this practice by finding a center and some breath. And then I'm going to go through the quotes of intuition. And then I'll take you through a nice gentle yoga practice where we're going to go into some hips and twists and take us to a place where we do a couple seated postures today. And then we can come into a meditation in a seat that's open and comfortable. And then we'll find ourselves in Savasana. And then you'll be ready to do whatever you want to do today and be in touch with your inner voice. So we'll go ahead and start. Taking the hands down by the side, just take a moment. You can close your eyes and feel a sense of all of the muscles you're sitting on. I call the pelvic floor muscles. They're very supportive. You pull in and up on those muscles. So we call that mula. Mula means root lock, mula bandha. And then above that, right below the belly button, I want you to feel a sense of drawing in and a feeling of lifting upward. And we call that uddiyana, which means flying upward, uddiyana bandha. And then at the top of the spine, you can draw the chin down, and we call that jalandhara bandha, and that's the chin lock, and it seals all the energy in. So now you have that inner strength to let go of the hands and sit up as tall as you can. And now just tune into your breath, the inhalations, the exhalations, and it's conscious breath. So as you inhale, you feel the rib cage expand, and then as you exhale, you feel the rib cage draw closer together. And just focus on that, inhaling and exhaling. And one more time, just conscious breath, just noticing how you're going more and more into what you're doing, what you're experiencing, and take the hands together in prayer position. And we're going to vibrate with the mantra Om. And that's all the sounds of the universe, the ah, ooh, starting with the ah, right at the diaphragm, and then ooh, making its way up through the heart and the throat, and then the out the crown of the head. So here we go. Inhale. Intuition is the whisper of the soul. When you fill your soul by listening to and acting on your intuition, you will find yourself moving toward the fulfillment of your dreams. Intuition, when you know, even though you don't know how you know, but you know that's all you need to know. The next message you need is always right where you are. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. I love that, intuition. I feel like now that my mind is quieter, I can really listen to that voice. And lately it's telling me to slow down a little bit and trust that what I'm doing is enough. So I love that. How are you sitting? How do your hips feel in this position? Maybe make an adjustment somewhere that you feel like you can sit comfortably. And maybe that looks like this, right? Or maybe you need to sit up on something. Every week I do one of these videos and we focus on a different theme. And so if this is something you really like, please subscribe, and you feel free to leave a comment as well if there's something you'd like me to explore. So let's take the hands down by the sides. Thanks so much. And just lift way up. Let's start with a side bend, a gentle side bend. So lifting the left arm up, you can really pull that right shoulder away from your right ear as you let the right ear kind of fall down. And I'm really reaching through this left side. And then from there, I'm going to turn my head down And then just stay there for a moment, and then start to slowly turn, and just go to where it feels good in your body. The head is back in alignment with the spine, and I'm turning, and I'm still reaching. And then inhale, rise up. Notice, are you moving with your breath? So can you inhale as you really reach up? Exhale, and pulling that left shoulder away from the left ear as I reach the right arm. And then I'm slowly going to just take my head down, but it's still back in alignment with my spine. And then slowly turning, and just go to where it feels good. There's a gentle gaze down my nose, even though my head's turning. And inhale, and rise up. And then we're just going to go ahead and turn this way. And just keep this kind of diamond shape, or come into this kind of diamond shape. I usually have 2 blocks and a little towel just in case in my practice. So it's just, they help, but you don't really need them. I'm going to put one here because I just want you to just come forward and find a nice forward bend, just a rounded spine. So the belly is pulling in and you're rounding over. Shoulders are away from your ears. I'm gently encouraging my knees to open, but gently, and just breathe here. Notice, where is your breath? And exhale. Keep it gentle. Inhaling and exhaling. And just listen to that inner voice. How are you feeling today? What's going on? And then inhale will lengthen up through the spine. And let's come to seated now. So let's just take this seat where the knees are bent and we're really high on the sitting bones. So you find that natural curve in your low back. And then let's exhale. We're stretching out the spine a little here by curling back, pulling the belly in. And then inhale and rise up. And then exhale, stretching the muscles of the spine, but pulling the belly in. And then inhale and rise up. And we'll do one more like that. Go down. And this time, see if you can let go of the hands. And then we're going to really work those obliques a little bit. So see if you can turn to the left. You can have your hand down and come back and sit up. And then we'll go the other way. So it's really opening things up. And it's also using those muscles of the obliques. Turn to the right. You could put your right hand down, turn, then come back to the center and up. And now we're going to make our way all the way down to the floor. So as you curl back, start to slowly straighten your legs. You could still hold on. That's fine. Pull the belly way in and curl down, and just do the best you can, curling. You can hold on. That's fine. And make your way all the way down. And then once you're here, let's go ahead and bend the knees. And then we're going to pull that right knee into the chest for a moment. Just notice what's going on in the hips today. When the hips are open, it's easier to sit on the floor, right? So we're going to really work on opening the hips down here from a supine position. And then let's go ahead and straighten that leg. So I'm supporting the back of the leg. And it's okay if you're down here, do the best you can. So bend. And then really straighten. Now we're stretching the hamstrings. And again, bend and straighten. And then stay here and then just kind of circle the ankle, opening up the ankle joint a little bit. And you can go the other way. And then from here, we're going to open the left knee out to the side and let your right leg come out to the right and just support it with your hands. So I have my left hand on my inner thigh here, and then my right hand is just supporting my leg. So breathe here, inhale. You could even hold this way if you wanted to, but this way I can open the shoulder and really support the leg and open. And I'm taking my gaze, you could do this to the left. And notice, is your butt sticking out or tucking under? Can you kind of find that place of neutral? And then let the leg come back again and down. And now we'll do the other side. So start off by just hugging that leg in for a moment, just feeling that. And then hold on and try and straighten. And it's okay if you're a little lower. Do wherever you can go in your body, bend and straighten. Just finding that nice hamstrings, the hamstrings in the back of the leg, really lengthening here. And we'll do the circles Just opening up. And we can go the other way. I'm hearing some popping. It's a good thing. And then we're going to open out. So the right knee opens, the left leg opens. I'm just going to support it. And then I'm gently encouraging the inner thigh to open on the right side. And then breathe here. You could take your gaze to the right, or you could gaze straight up and just tune into your breath. Inhale and listen to that voice inside. Is this stretch good? Is it releasing? Or am I overdoing it? Do I need to back off a little bit? Just breathe and see if you can find release, and you'll know. And then let it come up. And now let's go ahead and inhale. Take the feet together. Your feet can be relatively close if that's accessible. And then you're going to reach up over your head, and notice what happened to your ribs when you did that. Can you pull your ribs back down? You can take your hands as wide as you need to achieve that. And you can let the shoulders elevate a little bit, roll away from your ears. And now see if you can gently just open the knees out. So this is Supta, Supine Baddha Konasana. And again, notice, can you pull the ribs down a little? And breathe here. Inhale. If you wanted to rock a little, that's okay. You could do that. Just do what feels good in your body. And then find a place where you're going to kind of settle down. And you could even close your eyes here. It's restorative. And let the knees open. Really breathing, listening to that inner voice, to your body. And then inhale here. We'll bring everything together and down. Let's come into some bridging. So make sure your feet are about hip width, and I'm going to walk them in a little bit, just as much as you can. And then take a moment to roll the shoulders down and back. And now we're going to focus on the pelvis. So sometimes it's hard on the low back just to lie on the floor. So we're going to try and stretch that out a little bit. So I want you to take a breath in, exhale, try to curl the pelvis under. We call this a posterior pelvic tilt. It's tilting backwards. And then inhale, come back to neutral again. And then exhale, there's muscles under your butt. Exhale, that'll help you curl the pelvis and back again. And then on the next one, we're going to try and come all the way up into the bridge. So exhale, curl. Shoulders rolling down and wide, lift way up as high as you can. Make sure your neck is nice and lengthened. You're not back, you're not forward. The natural curve is there. Lift up as high as you can. Really feeling the work and the stretch on the opposite side. And then exhale will come down by curling the pelvis as well. So really start to draw the belly in and curl the pelvis down, all the way down. We'll do that again. Inhale, exhale, curl the pelvis and start to come up. This time we're going to add the arms. Reach the arms over your head, get really long here. And then we'll start to curl and come down, pulling the belly in, really curling all the way down. It's a nice supported spine stretch. Inhale, last one. Exhale, curl. And lifting up and noticing how is this feeling in your body, reaching and going to that level that feels really good as you curl and come down, feeling the pelvis tuck under, and then it comes down to neutral, and let the hands come down. And just take a moment here. And now we'll cross the right ankle over the left knee. We'll come into a nice glute stretch. So go ahead and pull in. And just really pull. Feel that it's like the shin is coming closer if you can, and trying to open that knee out. Of course, if this was hard, you could leave your foot down and open this way. So just take it to where your body feels like it can go and open, and just stay in that, breathing. And then go ahead and release. We're going to take this into a twist. So inhale here. It's nice to move on the exhale. Exhale, let the twist happen. So here's your obliques again. You feel this side body, this twist. we're moving the spine in all different directions, right? And then take the head and you can look over the right shoulder or straight up. You can work on opening this knee a bit if that feels good. And then inhale and let it come up. And we'll go to the other side. So cross the left ankle over the right knee, and you could stay here and work this position, or if you wanted to go a little deeper, you hug in and really encourage that left knee to open. Notice what's going on in your shoulders too. If you find that you're rolled up, that's okay, but just make sure you're not in your neck, no tension. And breathing, and listen to that, your body, what's going on. Keep pulling in. I'm feeling a nice glute stretch. And then from there, we'll go ahead and let that come down and we'll take it to the twist. So we're going to the right, feeling those obliques moving to the right. And then maybe you want to take your head the other direction. You can do that. And breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Nice length going on here. And then slowly letting it come up. And we're just going to take a nice gentle windshield wiper here. So you could have your feet a little wider. Let the left knee fall, let the right knee fall. And then we'll go the other way, just twisting. And then let the right knee fall, let the left knee fall. You could take your head to the left. And then back up to the center, just a little movement here. Left knee, right knee. And coming up, right knee, left knee. And last one, over to the left. And now I'm going to, you could stay here, or if you wanted to, you could take your left ankle and give that right side a little weight. And notice what's going on the side body, the hips. And inhale, come up, and we'll go the other way. So let the right knee fall, left knee, right ankle, or you could just stay here. And then maybe you take your gaze to the left and breathe. And then inhale, letting that come up. And then let's go ahead and just straighten the legs for a moment, taking kind of this mini kind of Savasana, like how does your body feel right now? What's going on? And if this was all you could do for your day, you would be pretty open. But we're going to come to seated and work on a couple seated poses and see how the hips feel now after we've done this nice movement. So you could straighten the legs and inhale here, exhale, start to curl up. So just a gentle curl up. You could use your hands, and we're coming all the way to seated. So now once we're here, just sit up really, really tall. Notice what that feels like. Can you straighten the left leg? And we're just going to see if you can pull this right knee like towards the armpit. If your spine curls back a little, that's okay. Just make sure your shoulders are down, but do the best you can to try and sit up. Just the best you can. And then we're going to take this and try and open that knee out to the side. And it's like you're cradling your baby here. If you have to bend this leg a little, that's okay. You can do that if it helps you to sit up. And now we're going to take this into a pose called Janu Sirsasana, which means head to knee. So we're going to open this leg up as best you can and try and sit way up. If that means you have to bend this knee a little, then bend it a little, but get way up. Then we're going to take this gentle twist over that leg. You could also be sitting up on a block if that helped you, or a blanket. I'm going to use this towel, but you could use a yoga belt, or you don't have to use anything. And we're going to come over this left leg. So you could use your towel as a belt, right, to assist you to come forward. So, or if you can grab your foot, right, you don't need it, but make sure your shoulders are down, or your hands could be here. But just make sure your leg is engaged as you breathe and inhale, and just listen to your body. And then inhale, we're going to lengthen now and rise up. You don't want to be rounding in your spine when you do forward bends, because then the stretch is too much in the low back. right? We should feel it in the hamstrings and maybe in the hip that's open. So let's come to the other side. So we'll go ahead and bend the left leg and try and pull that knee in towards that armpit. And if the spine curls back, that's okay, but do your best to sit up. And then we're gonna bring the leg across. So now the hip is open, right? And do your best you can here too. If you're curled back a little, that's okay, but do your best to kind of sit up. You could even bend this knee and just really feel that, to try and draw that across. And now we're gonna take it into Janu Sirsasana. So we open, and you try and find this. And then we're gonna take a little twist to the right. So you feel the obliques come around, and we'll come forward. And if you're using your towel or your yoga belt, it goes around your foot and you can pull this way. And try and really, there's a turning and a lengthening. It's a really nice pose for that. Turn and lengthen. Breathing. So I'm feeling a nice twist, so really opening up muscles in my back and in the obliques and the hamstrings. And inhale, rise up. And let's come to Dandasana. Let's see how we're doing with Dandasana now that the hips are a little bit more open. Can you sit up? If not, you can bend the knees a little and find that. Now we're gonna come into a seated twist. It's called Marchasana C. We'll bend the right knee, and then we're just gonna turn to the right. So gently, see if you can take the crook of your elbow and put it right below your knee. And then the right hand comes behind you. And notice I'm lifting up, and then I'm taking the obliques. I'm taking the ribs around using the obliques, right? And inhale, lift up. Exhale, I'm feeling like I'm turning the ribs with every exhalation. Inhale, lifting way up, long spine. Exhale, let it turn. You're not forcing. And then inhale, come back to the center. And we'll switch sides. So bend the left leg now. And if you need to keep the right leg a little bent to sit up, that's okay. We're gonna take the crook of the elbow below the knee, the right hand behind, and sit up, reestablish that. So from a lengthened spine, it's like I'm turning these right ribs to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn. And I'm not leading with my head, I'm leading with the ribs. Inhale, really feeling those obliques taking me around. Exhale. Inhale and come back to the center. It feels really nice in the spine. Let's come to Baddha Konasana. So feet together like we were in that big diamond, but this time you're gonna lift up and come into where you can. And if your knees are way up here, just gently try to open them up. Or you could be sitting up on a bolster or a blanket, right? Inhale and try to gently open them and just see how that feels. And then from here, if everything's going well and you want to come forward, you can come gently just a little forward maybe. And gently use the elbows to open the knees. And just breathe wherever you are. You might just be sitting up, using your hands to make sure your spine is long. And that's great. And breathe. I'm feeling a lot in the inner thighs. And exhale. We'll release. And now we're going to come to a seated position and see how it feels now that we've done all of this hip opening. So I'm going to face you. And where can you go? Can you go here? Right? Does it feel good to cross one leg? Just go on that journey. Or are you still really liking this one? That's okay. But once you've found that spot where you feel like you can sit and really lift up, you're supported, then come back to all of that connection of the bandhas, the pelvic floor, the mula bandha, the uddiyana bandha, the flying upward. And we'll take a moment here. This is a great place to meditate. Sometimes it's easier if you're sitting up on something. So just take that into account. And once you have that and everything's engaged, we can take the hands. We'll do Yana Mudra today to represent your intuition and your inspiration from the outside, right? Yana is knowledge. So we take that together, take the hands and sit up tall And just for a moment, go inward and notice this. Are you able to just go into that calmness and that peace without thinking about how you're sitting? Because it's supported, it's strong. And now just focus on that inner voice, that inner light. And it should be in a place of, or hopefully it's in a place of peace and ease. And stay there. And you could stay here as long as you'd like, but I'm going to take us to Shavasana. So let's go ahead and come back to our seated position, and we'll roll down to the floor. So take a moment. You could start to straighten the legs maybe now. Maybe you're using your hands, and maybe you just find this place of openness and light and connect inward to that, all of those inwards, inspiration, intelligence, intuition, and let that be your guide. Stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.